The Raiders' legacy has been forged by some of the toughest players the NFL has known. And theirs has been a style that thrives on intimidation. Names like Davidson, Tatum, and Atkinson have been foremost among the Raider renegades and have been revered as such by their fans. The Raiders' attitude has been to win at all costs, against all odds. The commitment to excellence still prevails, and excellence is measured in winning alone. For 3 decades, the silver and black has belonged to the Raiders, but today the Raiders confront a new challenger to their renegade mystique. Atlanta, under head coach Jerry Glanville.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Los Angeles Raiders versus the Atlanta Falcons.
Fulton County Stadium has been sold out for months for today's meeting between the Falcons and the Raiders, and the weather couldn't be better. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Don Cricky. These are the best of times for the teams of Atlanta. Georgia Tech reigns as one of the co-national champions of college football. The Braves are battling for a pennant. The Olympic Games are coming here in '96, and today the Falcons hope to come of age in the Glanville era by beating the Raiders, a team he'd like to emulate. I'm joined by Bob Trumpy. Young quarterback runs this red gun offense at Glanville's. It's a tough offense to run.
Yes, it is. Chris Miller has the entire offense on his shoulders. The red gun requires that responsibility. An awful lot of audibles at the line of scrimmage, so he's not really ready for it yet. Just still learning the offense.
The Falcons have a swarming defense, but it's a bit undersized. The Raiders might try to power the ball at it.
Well, what Jerry Glanville has designed is a defense that's everywhere. Blitzes on every down from every spot. So the emphasis is the Raiders have to run the ball. Roger Craig has been a very big man for the Los Angeles Raiders, and he should get the ball a lot today, Don.
We're now underway, and the Raiders bring the ball back across their 20, and they're pushed out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. And so Jay Schrader, who's coming off a good passing day a week ago in a victory over Indianapolis, a shutout win. Here's the offensive blockers for him. Wilkerson, Wisniewski, Mosbar, Montoya, and Wright. All of them solid. Roger Craig really coming on at the running back position. Gained over 90 yards last week with 27 carries, a career high. Extra wideouts come in. Tim Brown will be in there with Willie Galton, Mervyn Fernandez. Even the tight end on this Raider offense, Ethan Horton, can get deep. This is a team with an offense built on speed at the wide receiver position. Everybody in this league is fast, but the Raiders are super fast.
And the Raiders start with 3 tackles in the lineup, something they did against Denver 2 weeks ago.
Unbalanced line to the left, extra strength there. And now we have a penalty marker before the Raiders get the snap off. Might be an early delay of game. Johnny Greer is the referee.
Please reset the 45-second clock to 10 seconds. There is no infraction. The ball was reset by the officials on the field.
There was a penalty marker down, but it's picked up. So they reset the clock now. And the Raiders get set for the first snap of the game. There's Art Shell. His team comes in with a 2-1 record, sharing first place in the AFC West with Denver. Handoff, and they go right to Roger Craig, 9 times a Pro Bowl player for the San Francisco 49ers. The Falcons defense is giving up a lot of yards to the run. Tim Green, rookie Mo Gardner, and Mike Gann across the front. Darian Connor, a huge outside linebacker. Jesse Tuggle, the leading tackler. Neon Deion Sanders, an outstanding cornerback. McKier's the guy the Raiders will go after. Jordan and Case are the safeties. A 3-yard gain by Roger Craig. It's now 2nd down and 7, and there's not much there for Roger Craig as Tim Green comes hitting.
Don, if there's a problem with this Los Angeles Raider team to this point, the offensive line, which is huge, has not dominated anyone at the line of scrimmage. The extra offensive lineman in there in the first 2 downs of this first series was James Fitzpatrick, 6'7", 320. And they'd run 2 straight shots in the line of scrimmage, nothing, 0. That brings up 3rd and long.
And the Falcons are the poorest in the NFL at defensing the run. They're allowing 5.2 yards a rush. Now Schrader must throw on 3rd down and 7. Here comes a blitz, and Schrader is free to the football. Falcons have it. It's a live ball. And in for a touchdown is Jesse Tuggle. Now the point after attempt by Norm Johnson, the longtime Seattle kickers. Now the Falcons is up and good. Big things happen early for the Falcons, Trump.
Don, as we said in our outset, they're going to have blitzes coming from everywhere, and this time it comes from the right-hand side of the picture. It appears to be, it's Deion Sanders. He's the one who makes the hit. The ball bounces for Atlanta. Tuggle picks it up. Last year, the Falcons had 8 returns for touchdowns. That's interceptions, fumble recoveries, kickoff, and punt returns. Watch this hit. Sanders is not touched. The ball bounces right up to Tuggle. 7 points without your offense on the field. Not bad.
On the third play of the game from scrimmage, and they were Raider plays from scrimmage, the Falcons, Jesse Tuggle is in the end zone with a fumble recovery and return for a touchdown at 7-0 Atlanta.
A dominating team. Even though they shut out the Indianapolis Colts last week, I don't know that that's a true indication of what kind of team this Raider team is. They're nowhere close to the kind of team they want to be at the end of the season.
Well, they had a one-back offense, and that's not enough to pick up an all-out blitz as the kick comes down to Grady, an Olympic sprinter. To the 15, and he's across the 20, and Grady is out to the 26-yard line. And the Raiders offense comes back out, and Jay Schrader's got to be looking both ways now, because as you point out, Trump, the blitzes by Glanville are going to be designed to come from all over the field from anybody.
Absolutely, anybody. That's the problem. You, as an offensive coach, you can sit in there and watch the films and design blitz pickups and have hot receivers, but very seldom do you see corners, Deion Sanders, blitzing on the third down of the game. Highly unusual. The Raiders have had this problem to this point in the season. They've yet to score a point in the first quarter.
Early in the game, 13-23. If you joined us late, the Falcons scored on a fumble recovery by linebacker Jesse Tuggle. Roger Craig goes in motion. Schrader with a quick out from Irvin Fernandez, but cornerback Tim McKyer is right there to knock him down. Short gain on the play, perhaps 3.
That's one of the best aspects of the Atlanta Falcons defense, their 2 corners. Because McKyer and because Deion Sanders are excellent one-on-one coverage people, there is so much you can do defensively. If you've got those plaster to the receiver cornerbacks, you can do it. And the Raider fans certainly are aware of that. When they had Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes, then you saw the Raider defense all over the field. The key to this defense, McKyer 22, Sanders 21 in their bump and run coverage.
They get the wideouts one-on-one. Now it's a second down and 5 play. Roger Craig waits for the hole to open. It does briefly, and he gets ahead across the 30-yard line where Rick Bryan, number 77, a former All-American from Oklahoma, made the knockdown. And it'll bring up 3rd and short yardage, 3rd and about 2.
Actually, at this point in the season, that's more carries than they really wanted Roger Craig to have. But with the injury to Marcus Allen and the injury to Greg Bell, he's got to carry it that much. He's willing to. There's Marcus Allen standing on the sideline. The Raiders are counting an awful lot on Nick Bell, the rookie out of Iowa, getting healthy next week.
And Marcus is feeling good. He's been running now. He should be back in a couple of weeks. On 3rd down and 2, the Raiders set in their offense at their 35. Schrader with a good throw, but the big play on defense is turned in by Tuggle, the man who scored the touchdown. Jesse Tuggle, not tall, maybe 5'11", but super strong. He bench presses 510 pounds, more than anybody. Game misconduct in this one. So the Raiders come up short, and they'll punt the ball. And there is Deion Sanders, one of the best return men in the NFL. Ball is hit downfield. Gossett, the punter for the Raiders. Ball takes a hop back upfield, so Los Angeles, with its coverage, comes down and downs the ball at about the 26-yard line of Atlanta. So the Falcons send their offense. Back to live action. They punt the ball again. Raiders had an illegal man downfield. Now Sanders comes over, fields it at his 24. And down to make the play on special teams is number 82 for the Raiders, Jamie Holland. So by taking the penalty and having the Raiders re-kick, Atlanta actually lost 5 yards in that exchange. And now we look at the offense. Deep speed. Rison's the guy that's tough to defense. Has great ability to move all over the field and has just outstanding hands. First down and 10 now for the Falcons. Their first possession on offense, yet they lead the game 7-0. This is Broussard trying the left side of the Raider defense. As we check the silver and black on defense, Townsend, Davis, Golick, and Howie Long, the down lineman. Robinson is in there as a linebacker. McDaniel and Lionel Washington are the corners. Extra DBs with Lott, Anderson, Dorn, and Lewis. Raiders right now setting in their base defense until they see the red gun.
Yeah, and the Falcons are going with 2 running backs, so they have the standard offense. That's kind of the mind game that each coach is playing with each other here to start the game.
Gartell said, Trump, the Falcons give you a different look on offense and defense every week. Give you a lot to prepare for. It's now 2nd down and 8. Miller's first throw. Long ball. Andre Rison. Foul. No flag.
No flag?
Rison protesting. Lionel Washington took him down. But apparently the official on top of the play thought it was time. Look at Glanville. Looked like a blatant error by the official.
Jerry's never going to be the guest speaker at the NFL officials union annual meeting, but that really looked like Lionel Washington just dragged him down. We got it all the way. Rison, excellent speed.
He beats him.
Now watch Washington's right arm, left arm.
Oh, that's.
I guess what the official is saying is that Washington was looking back, and therefore the incidental contact is allowed. But Rison, Glanville, and no one in Fulton County Stadium agrees.
So it goes as a long out, and it used up down. It's now 3rd down and 8. Miller stands in, fires. He makes a connection, and a player who's not been very productive finally catches a ball as Sean Collins comes from off the flank.
That was the red gun, the first snap of the red gun. It looked like the Raiders came with a blitz, but they didn't convert the 3rd down. You need those receivers to get that 10 yards before you throw it. That's on the quarterback. You got to wait till they get down there.
And now Scott Fulhag comes in to punt the ball. There's Tim Brown, the Heisman Trophy winner in 1987, return man for the Raiders. Raiders could get fairly good field position as Fulhag is positioned back inside his 20. Long spiral. Tim Brown has to go to the far sideline, fields the ball at his 22. There's a channel of blockers as Brown eludes 2 tacklers, and finally they really stepped out of bounds. But the Falcons are going to hit somebody anyway. It's football, right, Trump?
Why not? There's more than one, so let's take a shot. Interesting. Art Shell's his thought on intimidation. He said, told us yesterday, you intimidate through execution, not after the play, during the play. The offensive plays and the defensive sets. He suggests offensive plays to June Jones. That's Doug.
Out of the huddle. They set up at their 25-yard line. Their 3rd possession of this first quarter. Their first possession turned into an Atlanta touchdown. When Deion Sanders blitzed Jay Schrader, freed the ball on a fumble, and Tuggle picked it up, ran it in from 18 yards out to Jesse Tuggle for the only score of the game. It's 7-0 Atlanta. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Pitch back goes to Roger Craig. And Craig, with all those moves and all that leg power, drives ahead, and a penalty marker comes in late from the referee. Johnny Greer fires one in, a personal foul against the Raiders. Gary Encana was on the tackle drum.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 76 weight.
Wisniewski, left guard.
Art Shell can't believe it. Come on. They're the ones that are fighting after the play. Why are you calling it on our guys? The one thing this Atlanta defense is susceptible to is the cutback. Because it's small and aggressive and moves all over the place, you can cut the ball back. Roger Craig did that time, and without the penalty, that was a nice 6 or 7 yard pickup.
They really do bite on fakes, the Atlanta defense. They're off after the ball. Their motto, 11 men to the ball, or where they think the ball is. Raiders are going to go deep very soon. We'll see when, as now it is 2nd down and 18. End off and hit behind the line of scrimmage is Roger Craig by Oliver Barnett. Look at the headbutts. Tim Green is the leading butter, number 99.
It'll be tougher between plays for this defense than it is during the plays.
It starts to get old. We'll check those headbutts as we look at a big play by Barnett.
Yeah, I don't know who started this insidious thing of headbutting people as if you don't get headbutt enough in this football game. But watch Barnett gets up, and you're right. The ringleader is Tim Green. And you know, a couple more headbutts for good measure. You know, just to knock any sense you have in you out.
Look at this.
Boom, 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 boom.
Those are in slow motion. The real thing is Tim can lose some IQ points. He's a law school student. Here is Schrader on the deep drop on second down, and the ball is almost picked off by Tuggle. Incomplete. Jesse Tuggle, the leading scorer in this game, almost had another one.
Well, they've done nothing. Raiders have done absolutely nothing. They have not dented.
Schrader with a long ball call. It is 3rd down and 21 for the Raiders at their 15-yard line. Three wide receivers in the game as Schrader gets some protection. Lets it go deep. Going for the ball out there is Mervin Fernandez. It's picked off by Atlanta. Deion Sanders having a Hall of Fame day. First he freed the ball up on the fumble with the blitz for the touchdown. Now he makes the pick. Watch Deion Sanders go high to pick one off.
Don, my observation is this is a desperation throw by Jay Schrader and a desperation call by the Los Angeles Raiders. I'm surprised. Just heave it down the field.
Now the Falcons go on offense, 1st and 10. Chris Miller drills a pitch over the middle, and he makes the connection at the 40-yard line for a gain of 6 yards. Michael Haynes was the man who took it in. World-class speed from Northern Arizona, Michael Haynes.
In the case of Chris Miller, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, June Jones, first year here. And of course, Glanville came to Atlanta from Houston with the red gun or the run and shoot. June Jones is one of those disciples of Mouse Davis. June Jones, an excellent teacher. This is the 3rd offense. There's June right there in the glasses. This is the 3rd offense that Chris Miller has learned in 4 years. So he's not got the whole thing yet.
But he has great ability, a former #1 pick out of the University of Oregon. 2nd down and 4 now as the Falcons go to the run. Broussard bounces inside, takes it outside, and he's ahead for 2 yards. The tackle on the play for the Raiders was made by Winston Moss, an outside linebacker. Brings up 3rd down.
Home run.
Yeah.
He can go out with a flare, can't he?
3rd down and 2 now for the Falcons, who lead the game 7-0 on a defensive touchdown. Jesse Tuggle running in a fumble early in the game. Miller throwing on the run. Good coverage on the play. Gary Lewis, number 21, defends beautifully. Makes the hit just as the ball came in.
Pritchard was the intended receiver. This is the red gun. You see the half roll by Chris Miller, but Lewis is right there in coverage. It was enough to make the 1st down, but Lewis knocks the ball away.
Now the Falcons will punt the ball as Fulhag is back in the game, and Tim Brown is back deep again for the LA Raiders. 6:16 to play in the first quarter at 7-0 Atlanta. 18-yard fumble return by Jesse Tuggle of the Falcons. Raiders get a good rush. Fulhag gets away a good kick, and it comes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line.
No fight. How about that?
Peace for the moment. And when we come back, the Raiders go on offense again. For this meeting between the Falcons and the Raiders, and it's been sold out since last July. The new men in black, the Falcons on defense now, leading the game 7-0 on a defensive touchdown. Jay Schrader drops on 1st down, guns it to Roger Craig, and it's almost picked for another score. Brian Jordan, strong safety, had his hands on it but lost it.
Well, Don, you can see that the Raiders are struggling for all kinds of different things. This time they run Roger Craig out in motion. Schrader he's already decided he's going to throw it out there, and Jordan almost makes the pick.
So Schrader, unable to complete a pass on 1st down, again finds himself in long yardage. 2nd down and 10. Craig behind Steve Smith. Roger Craig turns it up, but there's nothing there as the Falcons, with good pursuit, are there to get him. Darian Connor led the tacklers. And now let's check the Schick Tracer 10-minute ticker. Dolphins up on the Packers on a day when Don Shula goes for a career win number 300. Steelers and the Eagles tied up 7-7 in the first quarter at Philadelphia. Oilers and Patriots in a tie. 3-all at Foxborough, and Washington unbeaten and Cincinnati winless. It's the Redskins up by 3. The Colts a surprise early leader on the Lions 10-0. Steve Smith is now the lone setback to pass block for Schrader on 3rd down and almost 10. There's a blitz. Schrader stands in, makes the connection to his tight end Horton, and Ethan Horton is ahead to the 38-yard line. It's a Raider first down.
First completion by the Los Angeles Raiders. Jeff Donaldson on the tackle. The tight end across the middle. Falcons had 6 defensive backs. You see the lone linebacker 58 Tuggle, and there's the hand fighting below. Ethan Horton able to get some separation away from that strong safety and make the reception for a first down. Again, Horton running across the middle. Jeff Donaldson, formerly the Houston Oilers. Jerry Glanville brings him here. That's the first down for either team, isn't it?
I believe it is, yeah. There is a 7-0 score on the board. Atlanta on a fumble recovery and a return of 18 yards by linebacker Jesse Tuggle on the 3rd play of the game. The long ball. Schrader airs it out. Nobody close to it except McKyer, the left side cornerback. Tim Brown was in the general vicinity. But again, Schrader tries to go deep on 1st down. Raiders don't come close, and they go to 2nd and 10.
I think if there's one accusation you can label against this Los Angeles Raider offense is that there are some plays that they just give away. Just throw the ball away. They don't look for the underneath receiver. I mean, you can see the stop and go there by Tim Brown did not fool McKyer at all, and Schrader still goes to it.
Schrader picked off earlier on the deep throw that was taken in by Deion Sanders. Now on 2nd down and 10. Schrader with 2 backs and 2 wide receivers. Roger Craig, and the Falcon defenders are reading him all the way. There's the headbutt man Tim Green from Syracuse, an undersized defensive end. They tried him at linebacker. One thing that characterizes playing for Glanville, he said it's the most fun Tim Green did he's ever had playing football. On 3rd down and 12, another long ball throw, and again the coverage is right there as McKyer had his hands on the ball. Intended receiver was Mervin Fernandez. So Schrader again airs it out, but the coverage is perfect.
Falcons, every one that's been almost catchable by the Raiders has been also almost catchable by the Falcons. There's nothing intermediate here. I mean, they throw the crossing pattern to Ethan Horton for a first down, and then again they go deep.
Jim McKyer, who was with the Miami Dolphins last year, and back on the field is Jeff Gossett to punt for the LA Raiders. Hits a beauty. It drives Deion Sanders back to his 13-yard line. And Sanders, with no lane to go to, puts his head down and dives for a yard. The ball will be positioned at the 18-yard line as Atlanta is set to go on offense now, leading the game 7-0. Dan Turk was down to make the tackle for the Raiders. They trail Atlanta 7-0. Raiders 1 for 5 trying to convert 3rd downs in this game. The Falcons, who got a touchdown on the 3rd play of the game on a blitz by Deion Sanders that freed the ball from Schrader. Picking up the fumble was Jesse Tuggle, a linebacker. He ran it in from 18 yards out.
Well, the Falcons are going with 2 tight ends and 2 running backs here.
Keep changing looks for the Raider defense to contend with. 1st down and 10. Running the ball now is Keith Jones, number 38. And he is ahead for perhaps only a yard as Ricky Ellison, the middle linebacker for the Raiders, made the stop. We're down to 3:07 and the clock is running in the 1st quarter.
I don't think there's Glanville on the sideline, June Jones in the background. The Falcons don't have a first down at this point. Lead 7-0, don't have a first down. Glanville keeps changing what his offense is from that 2 tight end set. Now they go to the red gun, 4 wide receivers.
His first team here in Atlanta, 5-11. That's what his first team in Houston was, and the Oilers proceeded to make the playoffs 3 of the next 4 years. Miller with some time steps in and drills the ball, and this one is almost taken in by Anderson. Eddie Anderson, the Raiders free safety, came up on the ball. He was a football hero here in Georgia from Warner Robins, Georgia.
Mike Haynes, the intended receiver. Zone coverage by the Raiders. Washington underneath. Anderson, he has the deep outside 3rd in that double rotation zone, and that's the most difficult completion for a quarterback to make. So neither team doing much offensively to this point in the game, Don.
Not much. Ball position at the 19-yard line, and now a long ball down for Chris Miller and the Atlanta Falcons offense. It's 3rd down and 9. Pritchard, the rookie from Colorado, going back and forth. He has deep speed as Miller comes to the near flank, makes the connection. Out across the 30-yard line is George Thomas, a flyer from UNLV. Gary McDaniel knocked him out of bounds, but it's good for a Falcon first down. George Thomas, they call him Deep Heat. His primary pattern is just to fly down the sidelines. Now on 1st down and 10, Miller with a long count goes to a draw play. Running straight ahead with the ball is Eric Pegram, a first-year runner from North Texas State. Good football player, averaging 6.4 yards a rush as a rookie.
Well, the Falcons just can't make up their mind what offense they're going to run. They're back to the red gun now.
As you pointed out, Trump, Glanville calling all offensive plays and all the defenses. This is a man on top of things as Miller throws an out pattern, makes the connection. Coming down with the ball was number 81 Michael Haynes of the Falcons. The Raiders had a great Mike Haynes for a number of years, playing on the other side of the ball at corner. He had that acclamation his whole career. He talked about the one-on-one coverage that set the Raider defense, allowed and freed up so many other players, and that's what the Falcons are trying to get to as Broussard runs the ball on 3rd down and about 3. He fights ahead across the 40-yard line of Atlanta and appears to have enough for a first down. Winston Moss, the big outside linebacker, number 99, a first-year Raider, came as a plan B from Tampa Bay, was the man who made the tackle. Now where the spot is, they might need a measurement.
Broussard, of course, was the starter.
Minutes and the Falcons holding a 7-0 lead. And a defensive play, a blitz, a fumble by Schrader, and a subsequent return for a touchdown by linebacker Jesse Tuggle, and it's 7-0. As now the Falcons start the second quarter with a 1st and 10 play from their 41. Miller with a finesse throw to Andre Rison in the open field. Lott has a shot at him. Rison, with moves all over the field, finally is down at the 46-yard line of Los Angeles.
Oh, was that lucky. Winston Moss finally makes the tackle, but oh, was that lucky. There are a set of rules that quarterbacks have. One is don't throw late down the middle. Look at this. He throws it back across the middle. I mean, it is almost intercepted. Gary McDaniel gets his hand up there, but Rison makes a one-handed catch for a first down pickup. So big deal. Throw it anywhere you want, I guess.
Rison following the ball all the way in. He was complaining earlier in the year they weren't going to enough, and they started to get the ball his way a lot last week at San Diego. Rison has mentioned a first-team All-Pro player last season. Here's a throw that's too low for Steve Broussard to handle. He's built low to the ground, 5'7", 201 Broussard. And now while we have a moment, let's switch to NFL Live for this over the Los Angeles Raiders. Falcons with the ball on the Raiders side of the field for the first time, other than their defensive play when they recovered a Raider fumble and ran it in. Handoff to Broussard, and he is taken down at the 45. No gain. Big Raiders come hitting. Howie Long was one of the lead men. Bob Golick also on the play.
Don, Howie Long told us yesterday, he said, I don't like playing these run and shoot teams. And I said, why? And he said, well, because the defensive tackle's responsibility is the draws, the screens, and the runs up the middle. He said, I'm one of those guys that I like to turn it loose. So the first time they played Houston, he was pretty much stuck on the line of scrimmage. Now apparently Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator, turned him loose against this red gun offense here. We'll see.
Talking to Howie Long, and the Falcon claims that this is going to be war. He said, I've been here 11 years. I've heard that every week. You start to lose interest in all the claims when you come to town, locking up the women and children. Here's a marker as the Falcons are slow getting the ball into play.
I found out something from Howie Long that I didn't know.
75 offense. Still 3rd down.
I was unaware that Howie Long has a tremendous fear of flying. Sits next to Bob Golick, and they do everything but hold hands. Golick has no problems flying, but Howie does not like to be in the air.
His toughest one was a flight to Tokyo for a preseason game.
Yeah.
Slept on the floor of the plane
for all 13 hours. Well, if nothing else, certainly well rested when they got there, huh?
Just 31 years old and yet in his 11th season. And playing as well as he ever has. He can still cave in the side of the offensive line. Here he comes with a bull rush up the middle as Miller delivers and makes the connection. And ahead for a first down is George Thomas. That's Thomas's pattern. Side. Falcons now had the ball positioned at the 34-yard line of the Raiders. Baseball infield still down here. The Braves have work to do down the stretch run of the National League season as the handoff now goes on a wide carry to Keith Jones, and the Raiders string it out, knock him down for a loss of 3 yards on the play. Eddie Anderson, the free safety, came up with run support.
Anderson, one of those great hitters with good speed. Watch the penetration by the defensive line. See, standing outside there is 99 Aaron Wallace. He's just standing there waiting to make the touch. Excuse me, Winston Moss just standing there to see what the running back's going to do, and there was nothing for him to do.
It was really the penetration by right cornerback Lionel Washington that set up the loss. He was through and slowed up the carrier. As now 2nd down and 13 comes up for the Falcons, and we have a timeout call. So Chris Miller, just 26 years old, in his 5th year from the University of Oregon. He has thrown for 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions so far this year. He has all the ability in the world. On 7 carries, 1.3 a carry. The Falcons with just 6 yards rushing on 6 carries, 1 yard a pop. Now 2nd down and 13 comes up. Miller standing in the pocket. It's looped. It could be picked off, and it is by Anderson. Eddie Anderson still in bounds, crosses the 20, and finally he is stood up and knocked back at the 20.
Intended receiver Andre Rison fell down, Don. Right at the edge of the skinned infield. He tripped. Let's see if we can see Rison on the inside. He's got Washington 48 right there with him. What happens? Oh, they tangle feet. See, he's down. So Eddie Anderson has a free shot at it, like playing right field for the Atlanta Braves. He catches the ball. First turnover of the day for the Atlanta Falcons. Again from behind the defense. Raiders come with the blitz. Rison's no factor. Easy interception for the Raiders.
Really, which Raider was going to pick it off? Lionel Washington was on top of the ball also. Anderson took it, and Convoy on the return, the interceptor. Anderson got it back to the 20. 1st down and 10 now for the Raiders, who've had no big plays. Handoff, running with the ball is the fullback Steve Smith. They put a little more bulk into the Atlanta defense, but there still is no yards to be gained. Maybe a yard and a half there. Mike Gann, a veteran from Notre Dame, made the stop as we check the ITT 10-minute ticker. And here in Atlanta, the Falcons lead the Raiders, who have the ball 7-0. Linebacker Jesse Tuggle scored a first-quarter touchdown and a fumble recovery in return. Roger Craig is now flanked out as a receiver. Schrader on 2nd and 7 makes the connection to his tight end, but for only a gain of a yard. Ethan Horton came across and took the ball. Darian Connor was right with him.
Well, you got to give it to this Falcon defense. Even though it looks like there is tremendous disorganization at the line of scrimmage and people moving all over the place, when it's deployed at the snap of the ball, there's always somebody covering somebody. There's nobody free. Very difficult defense to just stand there and decide what you're going to do, not only as a quarterback during the game, but as an offensive coordinator during the week preparing for the game.
3rd down now for the Raiders. They've converted only 1 of 5 previous 3rd downs. They need a long 5, almost 6. Schrader gets time, makes the connection. Tim Brown dances ahead. He has the first down for the Raiders out to the Los Angeles 33-yard line. Gain on the play of 8 yards. Jeff Donaldson, an extra defensive back, made the play.
3 wide receivers set to the left of Jay Schrader. Looks like the Falcons back in just zone coverage. Tim Brown does an excellent job of hooking up in that zone. Got an injury too. Steve Wisniewski is limping off the field. It looked like he turned his ankle. Fitzpatrick, 73, is in as his relief as Tim Brown is to the sideline.
Reagan Smith, pair of setbacks behind Jay Schrader. Protection improves, and so does the throw as the connection is made with Mervin Fernandez. And he is across midfield and down to the 47-yard line of the Falcons. Brian Jordan made the stop, but it was 18 yards downfield.
Now here's the intermediate part of the Raiders pass game. McKyer, 22, the man in coverage. It's zone all the way. A rare snap of zone coverage by the Falcons, and Schrader reads it well. So does Fernandez, and number 40, Brian Jordan, there on the tackle. All the Raiders' first downs to this point by the pass, Don.
As they seem to be settling into their passing game now. Schrader with more time, surveying the field, throwing more confidently as he drops again on first down. Another throw, but this one too much on it for tight end Ethan Horton.
Oh, was he covered? I'm telling you, he was covered. Robert Lyles, 54, was underneath him, and Brian Jordan, 40, was on top of him. He was covered. Watch the end of this play. No play action. Watch the guys. That's covered. I'm telling you, you can color that one covered.
Brian Jordan, one of the coverers, he comes right up on the tight end much of the time, the strong safety for Atlanta. Schrader is a player equipped with a long distance arm. Anywhere on the field a receiver gets open, he can get it there.
Blitz, everybody coming.
He guns the ball now, and a good defensive play. Atlanta had the blitz on, and then linebacker coverage was very good. Robert Lyles, 54, an ex-Oilers you mentioned, Trump, right there to defend the play.
Look at all the people up at the line of scrimmage. Free safety, weak safety, outside linebacker, everybody coming, and still there's somebody back there in coverage. Excellent job by Tippin, 54. That was an outstanding, Robert Lyles, 54, to knock the ball away. Another big third down now for the Raiders.
Schrader, when he starts fast, his confidence build. He often continues to hit receivers. Started slow today, but now he's picking up. Big down for him now. Third down, they need 10. Schrader is swept under. Penalty markers are down all over. The Falcons come with a 5-man rush, and they've all busted through. Tim Green led the way, number 99.
See, they get the sack and the hold. Double jeopardy. This defense, because it's not big, will use a lot of stunts, loops, twists, turns. And you see offensive linemen all over the place. Green, he makes the twist to the outside, beats the center Mosbar.
68 offense. It's decline. Fourth down.
Penalties on Bruce Wilkerson.
And you think Green is tough, you should see his wife. She's lovely, but she gave birth on a Friday and was at practice on a Saturday. That's tough.
That's tough.
Fourth down and 23. Gossett against a big rush hits a beautiful punt downfield that forces Deion Sanders to fair catch at the 14-yard line. So the Falcons will have the ball when we come back. The long field to go, but they continue to lead the game 7-0. Full sunshiny September day in the capital city of Georgia. The Atlanta Falcons on the home field with a 7-0 lead over the Los Angeles Raiders, and the Falcons have the ball first down and 10. They go to the run, and a first down carry. One of the big backs, Tracy Johnson, runs it.
It certainly appears that the Falcons' choice of offense is first down. They go with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and 1 running back. That time Johnson. And then on the next down, they go with the red gun. They're certainly not deceiving the Los Angeles Raiders at all. You see all those people collected around. Falcons are averaging 1.3 yards per rush.
On second down and 7. The handoff goes to Broussard. Finally, they throw a net over him and get him. Greg Townsend was the first tackler, number 93, along with Lionel Washington. Broussard is a very shifty runner. He was a #1 pick out of Washington State a year ago. Comes in averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Had 105 yards last week against the Chargers, and they said that was his first really big game as a Falcon.
Well, I mentioned that the Falcons were averaging 1.3 yards per rush to this point. That average just went down. Minus yardage there. Falcons 3 of 5 on third down conversions. They've all been by the pass.
And third down comes up now. Falcons need almost 10 from deep in their own end. They lead the game 7-0. Miller makes a throw. And a first down throw it is. As George Thomas, that elusive quick wide receiver, a running rev from UNLV, 5'9", on a slant, takes it ahead for the first down.
You see the bump and run up very close. Torrin Doran. But this young man does an excellent job. Thomas gets separation from that cornerback. Ronnie Lott comes in with a little exclamation point on the tackle, but it's good for a first down.
The Falcons move it out now across their 25-yard line. 5:35 to play in the first half. It's a 7-0 game, Atlanta. Miller again stands in, then the pocket breaks down. He gets the ball away and throws it to linebacker Thomas Benson, who was not in the game.
That may be against Greg Townsend. Oh no, Greer is calling intentional grounding.
That's expensive.
That's a loss of down and the penalty. And what he's saying is he threw the ball away to avoid the sack.
Thomas Benson, a Raider linebacker, not in the game, made a nice play on it. Jerry going with the heavy-duty belt buckle today. Big enough to deflect speeding bullets. Says they like to hate somebody, they all hate me. It's been the story of my life. He fills seats. Here's a throw downfield, but there's a little too much on it. As Mike Pritchard, the #1 draft choice out of Colorado, a team that shared the national championship last season with nearby Georgia Tech, had a pivot, and he might have pulled a muscle doing it. He was open.
He beats Jerry Robinson 57, and if you're wondering why he has number 35 on, he lands right on his belly on that infield. Mike Pritchard was drafted as a running back, was a wide receiver at Colorado for just 1 year. Well, that's why he's wearing that running back number, even though he is exclusively a wide receiver, but a multi-talented individual.
Boy, this guy is one fine player, Mike Pritchard. Not very big. No need to be, though. Comes in with 13 receptions. Tied for the lead with Risen. Miller pumps over the middle and goes to Risen, who cuts back and loses about 8 yards.
Lost the first down. There's three parts to being a receiver, Don. Running the pattern, catching the ball, and then turning the thing upfield.
When I said Trump, he lost 8. He lost 8 from where he caught it. As you pointed out, he lost a chance for the first down.
Now this is not smart on Risen's part, and actually he's a veteran receiver, should know better. He's trying to make a big play when all they need is a first down. And they got a punt because of that choice.
But that's his game. Risen is a tremendous open field player. He moves around like Gale Sayers with those quick lateral moves. It didn't pay off that time. And now Fullheg does well to get away a punt. It takes a hop downfield and takes a Falcon roll inside the Raiders' 35-yard line. And with 4:22 to go in the first half, the Falcons continue to lead the game 7-0. Raiders get it when we come back.
See, the marker for the first down is right here, and you can also see the mistake he makes. He needs 4 yards from that spot to make the first down, and he ends up, when he catches it, going back the other way. Well, you see the marker at the bottom. Oh, big mistake by Andre Rison.
Now back to live action as Roger Craig runs the ball on first down for the Raiders. And again, that good pursuit of the Falcon defense, the 11 end of the ball philosophy. They got about 5 over there. Coming at halftime, we'll go to the studios in New York for NFL Live and a report on Sunday number.
Touchdowns. Let's try somebody else.
Yeah, they changed quarterbacks this week. As now we have Jay Schrader setting up. Second down, he needs 8. The ball at the 35-yard line of the Raiders. Craig. Again, good penetration. Mo Gardner, number 67, a rookie from Illinois. He was the defensive player of the year in the Big Ten last season. 67, not big, but exceptionally quick.
This Falcon defense doing an outstanding job at the line of scrimmage to this point. The Raiders have run the ball 9 times for 14 yards to this point in the first half. 9 times, 14 yards.
Raiders will be throwing it here. Third down. They need a long 6, almost 7. One setback. Falcons bring people up. Here comes a linebacker blitz from Connor. Schrader on the run. Throw downfield, and a penalty marker's down from the back judge. Ethan Horton got his hands on the ball. We'll see what the ruling is. They picked up the blitz of outside backer Darian Connor, and a holding call is signaled against the defense. A first down for the Raiders.
Back judge watches the tight end and the man that covers him. See again the pressure. Tuggle 58 up the middle. Ken Tipman's 52. Horton can't make the reception, but the penalty does give them a first down.
Jay Schrader with just 35 yards passing the ball so far in the game. He is 6 for 14, has been intercepted once.
Whoa.
Ball skips off his receiver and almost into the hands of a defender. Tuggle was right on the play. Roger Craig coming out of the backfield.
Roger Craig hasn't missed many.
Every so often they stick in there.
You hope.
A second down and 10 play now for Jay Schrader and the Raiders. Again, Connor 56 comes on the blitz. Schrader on the run. Ooh, hit hard from behind. A free ball. We'll see if the play is live.
One official is marking it dead at the spot where he went down, but that ball was loose. They're going to give it back to the Raiders.
Schrader's up and all right.
It's always reviewable.
Took a hellacious lick from behind, though, to watch Schrader here, Trump.
But if they blow the whistle on the field, the instant replay is not a factor, but I'll bet this ball shows loose. He's got it out there, not taking very good care of it. And then Connor hits him from behind, and that ball is loose.
That's a big hitter, too. Darian Connor, a 260-pound outside linebacker.
Flag thrown.
Line judge fires one up. I mean, it went up like a mortar shot. He wanted that one to be seen. He might be getting some talk from the Falcon bench he's not pleased with.
Yeah, that may be unsportsmanlike.
Yep. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Atlanta bench. Yep. It's 15 yards and first down.
That line judge has been, his ears are burning this entire first half. Jerry Glanville and his staff been all over him, but that's a cheap 15 yards for the Raiders when they haven't been able to buy many yards at all. It's all right to get your team up and intimidating. Now, this is the play once again that Jerry Glanville is questioning. Why it didn't go to replay.
This Darian Connor, Trump, he's something to behold.
Big guy. That ball is loose. There is no question about that. But it was not reviewed because the whistle was blown on the field.
Now the Falcon following. Picks up the decibel level as Schrader fires a low ball that skips in, incomplete. Tim Brown was the intended receiver. Tim McKyer was covering on the play. Jerry Glanville, we saw him Friday. He was going out to run his 4.5 miles. He said, they've got me doing it 3 times a week. I dread that every other day.
He's done one thing here. He
got away with words, doesn't he?
He has sold tickets. He has sold tickets here in Atlanta, and he is still drawn with that line judge.
Second down and 10. Roger Craig slashes into the left side of the Falcon defense. A wave of black jerseys throws him back. Not much of a gain on the play again for the Raiders, who've not been able to run the ball against a team that allowed 5.2 yards to the rush on the average through the first 3 weeks of play. Now the 2-minute warning is given, and the Falcons lead at 7-0. Bill, who's been talking the whole time and not saying the right things because he got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and a 15-yard assessment against his team that gives the Raiders their best field position. Now the Raiders have 3rd down and 8, trailing in the game 7-0. 1:55 to play in the first half. Blitz. Schrader eludes it, makes the throw. Mervin Fernandez, and he's going to go in, down at the 3-yard line on an open field tackle by Jordan. Ryan Jordan saves a touchdown, but the Raiders now have it first and goal inside the 5.
Huge play by Jay Schrader. Bobby Butler comes on the blitz on the outside. This is McKyer pushing and shoving match. Schrader avoids the blitz. McKyer almost gets his hand on the ball. Fernandez does a great job, and man, the credit's got to go to Jay Schrader. Watch the blitz. Butler, 23, has him dead to rights. I don't know how he sees him, but Butler misses that tackle. Schrader rights himself, and that big rifle arm gets it to Fernandez for a huge play.
Now the Raiders go with their power alignment. Fernandez comes to the sideline. Schrader's looking to throw. Guns it into the end zone. Touchdown Los Angeles. As the Raiders, Andrew Glover, a rookie tight end, fields the ball for the touchdown, and now the extra point that can tie the game.
And now that unsportsmanlike conduct against Jerry Glanville looms as the biggest play in this first half.
Andrew Glover's second reception as an NFL player and his first for a touchdown. Raiders think he has an upside that's just unbelievable. A big, fluid, rangy player from Grambling. Good hands, runs well. That time got himself open, and as you point out, Trump, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty kept the drive alive. Now Jaeger drives through the extra point, and the game is tied 7-all. Get the feeling this is going to be a good one to the final gun.
Let's see, how many yards did they gain on that drive? Glover, he does a great job of adjusting. He lets Tuggle 58 go by, and this is a nice catch.
Terrific catch.
Comes back to it. And of course, Jay Schrader's reaction with very little offense in this first half. Watch Schrader when he gets it in there. Yeah.
Schrader's really stood in under the pressure, and now the kickoff as we go to live action. The ball is drilled by Jaeger deep into the end zone, and Deion Sanders has to down it there. And the Falcons will go on offense, 1st and 10 at their so far. And the Colts, who've yet to win a game, up at the half by 3 on the Lions. NFL Live will give you the complete stories, the scores, the big plays. We go to halftime. Right now we have 54 seconds to play. Chris Miller throws downfield, and the ball is taken in beautifully by Mike Pritchard. Tremendous reception by Pritchard, who turned back to the wrong side to take it down for a first down. Clock running. Back
to the line of scrimmage. The hurry-up offense, the red gun, certainly produced a lot of problems for the Raiders against Houston.
Another throw, another catch. This is Andre Rison. Now they're going to rule he was out of bounds. Didn't have both feet in. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. It does stop the clock with 29 seconds to. Miller takes a drop, makes a throw. Connection to Andre Rison, who tries to duck the pursuer. Ronnie Lott. It is good for a first down to the 45-yard line, and the Falcons stop the clock with 20 seconds left to go in the half. 9 yards in the game. Actually 8 yards on 9 carries. 0.9 a rush. On first down, Miller throws the out pattern, but his receiver in that area, Thomas, was running a fly. Nobody home.
That's the problem with this new offense, the red gun with June Jones. The thing that makes it work picture perfect in Houston is that Warren Moon has had his sport.
This is the red gun with the 4 wideouts, 2 deployed to either side on a 2nd down and 10 play. Miller stands in, throws, makes the connection to Andre Rison as they start to near long field goal range. He gets out of bounds at the
6 or 8 seconds for that field goal, so the quarterback can't go to his 2nd or 3rd choice.
First down, Miller with a quick drop. Now here comes the rush. He's burning some time trying to get away, and he wisely runs out of bounds at the 29-yard line with 5 seconds left. So Chris Miller, his wits about him, with the Raiders in pursuit, gets some yardage to make it a shorter field goal and does stop the clock with time to kick it.
Well, certainly in this situation, you don't want the sack. But look at Anthony Smith. He almost runs down that quarterback. So
Norm Johnson, the longtime Seattle Seahawk, he played there 9 years before he was cut this summer. He can kick it a long way, although his home arena for the last 9 seasons has been on artificial turf indoors. Wind not a factor today. It's a beautiful day in Georgia. Temperature about 70. Johnson spins up a field goal try, and he's wide right. So the first half ends in a standoff. Falcons 7 and the Raiders 7. And looming very large in the first half developments, the personal foul call again. Jeff Jager teeing up the ball at his 35-yard line. Deion Sanders, the celebrated one, back deep. Very shortly you'll be able to purchase your Deion Sanders primetime wardrobe. It'll be on the market soon. It's coming out of the line of clothing. Here's a kickoff taken by Sanders at the 10-yard line. Out to the 20 and a marker down. So while the Falcons send out their offense, we wait for Johnny Greer. A legal block, a hold call on the Raider defense.
You can't argue with their performance. Shut out Colts last week. Falcons 2 quarters this week. Of course, if you just tuned in, the 7 points scored by the Falcons came on a fumble recovered and run for a touchdown.
Chris Miller now sets his offense. 3 wide receivers in the game, now a 4th as Pritchard goes in motion. He's also a running back, and they go straight up the middle. Running with the ball now is the rookie Eric Pegram. 5'9", 188, trying to weave his way for some yards into the Raider defense. He gets ahead out to the 21-yard line.
Well, now this is the true run and shoot. Count the guys at the line of scrimmage, and if you've got enough guys on your offensive line to push around those guys on the defensive line, you run it. Anthony Smith helps on the tackle. Eddie Anderson also on the tackle. But it looks like now the Falcons' choice is to go exclusively with the red gun. 4 wide receivers.
Like Houston, the red gun quarterback starts under the center. Buffalo's run and shoot starts out of the shotgun. Most do. That takes away pretty much most of the running game. Certainly the deception that goes with play faking. As Pegram gets the call again, and he is taken down by the run and shoot of the Oilers at the Houston Astrodome when they were beaten 47-17. Now on 3rd and less than 2, Pegram breaks ahead, but the play is whistled dead by a marker before the snap.
False start, 75 offense, still 3rd down.
That's on Chris Hinton. That was a pretty quick snap. They tried to run what appeared to be a quick.
There's a Hall of Fame offensive tackle where Hinton could one day be. Art Shell, the head man of the Raiders. Miller throws, and Sean Collins goes for the ball. Lionel Washington picks it up. It looks to be a live ball. It could be a Raider touchdown. It is. So an extraordinary play by Lionel Washington, and the Raiders take the lead. Almost a mirror of the early going the other way around when the Raiders had the ball. And a fumble down at this end of the field was returned by Tuggle of Atlanta for the first score.
Got to take a look on replay to see if it's in fact a catch, but it's ruled a catch on the field. Well, I don't understand why this ball, they try to run a pick, but Washington does not buy it. He's right inside. From that angle, certainly looks like the catch.
Well, the referee is looking right at it, so they saw it all the way. And so all of a sudden, the Raider defense strikes for a touchdown. And the Raiders take the lead 13-7. Tremendous play by Lionel Washington.
Let's see if we got a different angle here. He drops left and throws back right. Pressure in his face, and he can't really follow through. There's not enough to overturn that play on the field. If it's called a touchdown on the field. Okay, what they're ruling is he did catch it. Was there contact that had him down on the ground?
Good point.
That's exactly what they're trying to rule. Is Sean Collins in contact with Lionel Washington at the point where the interception is made? Is his knee down? I think it's going to come back down. The Raiders are going to get the ball, but I think they're going to say Collins Did make contact with Washington, therefore he's down. The Raiders are going to get it, but back at the spot of the interception. Raiders came into the game today with no interceptions through the first 3 games. Now they have 2.
After further review, it was ruled an intercepted pass, and the runner is down at the 18-yard line.
Yeah.
First down Raiders.
Oh, that hurts Lionel. He wanted that TD. DBs don't get many of them.
Especially not that easy.
But I think, as you pointed out, Trump, that Sean Collins did indeed have a piece of him when all he had to do was make contact when he was down.
Miller looks hurt.
He had a fractured clavicle, his collarbone last year. Got it in the 13th game of the season. He has got 7 screws and a plate in that shoulder, his throwing shoulder.
He didn't look good either. Backup is Billy Joe Tolliver, the young man acquired from San Diego.
Now the Raiders go with a game 7-7. Touchdown comes off the board. Raiders 1st and 10 inside the Atlanta 20. Throw, right through the hands of the intended receiver. Fernandez puts his hands up, and Falcons almost had it right back the other way with a pickoff.
That carried off a couple of Falcons and a Raider. Going to happen right in front of you. Schrader doesn't take anything off this one. It hits the foot of Tuggle. You see Fernandez running the pick underneath. He's wide open. Tries to get a little too fancy with that reception. Darian Connor right there to make him change his mind about coming in the middle of this defense foul.
Raiders dodge a bullet. Now it's 2nd and 10. Roger Craig looks for room. Penalty marker comes in. Often a hold against the offensive line. Umpire threw it in. Game clock is stopped with 12:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Holding it is against the Raiders.
Oh, Don, I'm telling you, we need at least a penalty box, maybe shut down for a few minutes to let everyone collect their thoughts, but not many.
2nd down and 20 now for the Raiders as they're firing and fall back. Here's another penalty marker at the snap of the ball. Throw is incomplete at the 19-yard line. Intended again for Mervin Fernandez.
That's going to be against Atlanta. Sides defense.
Together, you know he's boss out there. This could ignite at any time. 2nd down and 15 now for the Raiders. Game tied in the 3rd quarter. 12:29 to play in it. Now the Raiders seem to be drawing up a play.
11 guys up for the Falcons.
Ad-libbing. Here's a marker down, and so is quarterback Jay Schrader is coming up to get him with Jeff Donaldson on a blitz.
Another fight breaks out in the far side of the field. Willie Galt, someone else.
Willie Galt back on his home turf from Griffin, Georgia.
Scott Case and Willie Galt getting into it there. Falcons.
Offside, defense, personal foul.
That's a first
Number
down.
40
Personal
on the
foul.
defense. The personal foul will be enforced.
That's 2 penalties against this football team that have kept drives alive. One on him and one on Brian Jordan.
Personal foul came when Scott Case was mixing it up with Willie Galt. A strange day on the field. By rushing, no first downs today for the Raiders. They have no first downs rushing, and the Falcons have but 1.
Johnny Greer, which is the most important thing in this drive.
Personal foul. So now the ball is positioned inside the 15-yard line at about the 13-yard line of the Falcons. Roger Craig, 9-year pro from Nebraska, going wide, then cutting back, and he's inside down to about the 8-yard line. Roger Craig got about 5 yards on the play before strong safety Brian Jordan knocked him down. As we look at the Hurts 10-minute, and it would be a big surprise over undefeated Houston. In New Orleans looking early like a possible Super Bowl team from the NFC, looking to go 4-0 on the year.
Here we go, sticky again. Now they're back out of it.
Steve Smith up the middle, trap blocking, allows him to get down to the 5-yard line. On 2nd and goal from where the ball was spotted was the 10-yard line.
The Falcons defense did an excellent job there because they made the Raiders audible and just go to a base play. Jesse Tuggle finally makes the tackle along with Mike Gann, but it almost made the Raiders go away from a play. They had to audible to accommodate that sticky defense.
Good game and a long way to go. 10:42 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Raiders set it up now. 3rd down and 8. Schrader in trouble. On the run. Fires. Open man. Touchdown to Ethan Horton. And markers come in after the play. Another personal foul will be signaled.
Well, Schrader has done a great job.
Oh, he has.
Avoiding the sack, avoiding the pressure.
He's going to throw Case out of here. All the conversation and late hitting is counterproductive. He might be done. Scott Case got a 2nd personal foul caller. We'll see if it was him definitely. It looks like it might have been.
Both touchdowns today by the Raiders.
Personal foul, 88, offense. Personal foul, number 40, defense. The penalty, offset, is still a touchdown.
So it's after the catch was made.
Ethan Horton. It was not Scott. It was Brian Jordan that the personal foul was signaled against.
Watch the job that Schrader does. Again, they got him dead to rights. That's Mo Gardner, 67. Schrader does a great job of avoiding the rush, and again, that strength of arm.
Tremendous play by Schrader.
2 touchdowns by the Raiders, both of them to tight ends. Good job of adjustment by the tight end. Schrader able to get that ball right to the guy that's open.
Jordan hits him in the face, and all he does is go back and talk to him, and he gets a personal foul also. Now the extra point attempt by Jaeger. 10:28 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the Raiders take the lead for the first time in the game as they go out front 14-7. And we'll be back with the Raiders kickoff in a moment. Jaeger approaches the ball, hits a high spinner as the Raiders have taken a 14-7 lead. Now on the return is Brian Jordan, who is an upback into block. Jordan does well returning the ball for Atlanta as he gets across the 30. Markers down again, though, on the return. Derek Crudup was down to make the tackle on special teams for Los Angeles.
Back to the touchdown from behind the end zone. Ethan Horton makes the catch. And you can see what happens. Brian Jordan pushes him in the face. Ethan Horton comes back. He's somewhat incensed. A little shove to the face mask and then a right cross, and they call the flag on both of them, offsetting penalties. But it's pretty much been the nature of the game as it was set up. But you intimidate through execution, not after the play is over. That's the 8th penalty.
Illegal hands. 82 kicking team will penalize 10 yards and re-kick.
Jamie Holland, a rare penalty against the kicking team on a coverage.
As I was saying, that's the 8th penalty against the Falcons.
Your area next Sunday on NBC. Right now it's 1st and 10. Good play fake by Miller. Throws to the open man. He gets the ball to one of his tight ends. That was Gary Wilkins. A big back used primarily as a blocker out of Georgia Tech.
Look at him. He looked like he really hurt his arm the last time he was hit. And of course he has that, as you said, that plate and 7 screws in his shoulder. It'll be interesting to see just how well he can throw the ball, Chris Miller. They're saying it's his upper arm. Where does the upper arm stop and the shoulder begin?
Remember, those Raiders will get out a Phillips screwdriver and undo some of those. They can worsen a bad situation as it's now 2nd down and 4. And Handoff to Pegram, the rookie. He's tough. Keeps on trucking. Not done yet. Down to the 40, and markers come in.
That's going to be a face mask penalty against the Raiders. Now there's another flag up the field. Now one official picked up a flag. Terry McDaniel.
Personal foul, face mask, 36 defense, first down.
Out of North Texas State. Now the Falcons start to challenge, and here's a throw into the end zone. Open for the score is Broussard. Touchdown Atlanta.
At it again, see if he was inbounds when he caught that ball or not.
After further review, the play stands. Touchdown.
The official in perfect position, staring right down at his feet, so it seemed to be good all the way. And now the extra point attempt by Norm Johnson following Broussard's touchdown reception. Bullhead, the punter, is the holder. Johnson, you remember, missed a makeable field goal towards the end of the first half. But he hits the extra point, and we're again tied. Now it's 14-all, and we'll be back with the Atlanta Falcons. Now the high spinning kickoff by Johnson is going to be fielded by Jamie Holland as he crosses the 20. Penalty marker in again. What does it play without one? In the end, the penalty could decide this game. The legal block is the preliminary signal from referee Johnny Greer. Next weekend.
Foul, blocking below the waist. 88 on the receiving team. First down.
John Horton next weekend witness all the drama. Trumpy will be at it.
Amen, brother.
Right now, we're watching the Raiders go 1st and 10. Schrader stands in. Hard throw, skips off his receiver, Roger Craig.
You know, some quarterbacks have an easy ball to catch. Roger Craig has spent his entire career catching the ball from Joe Montana. And Joe Montana throws a very tight spiral, lots of revolutions, and it's a very soft ball to catch. Jay Schrader, being a former baseball player, guns the ball everywhere. And even though it's the 4th game of the season, and Craig has had all summer to practice with him, I think sometimes these rockets just surprise you. That caromed off his shoulder pads. Roger Craig is a great receiver.
You pointed out, all-time leader among running backs in career receptions. Now the Raiders finally get the big run on a 2nd down and 10 play. The power back, Steve Smith, takes it straight ahead, and he is ahead out to across the 20-yard line.
That is the longest Raiders run from scrimmage so far today. 10 yards to the fullback, lead block by Roger Craig. This time they get somebody on Jesse Tuggle, who last year made 200 tackles for this Atlanta Falcons defense. And a 1st down pickup. That is the first rushing 1st down, 2nd rushing 1st down the Raiders have had all day.
And the Falcons have only 2. Leaving way early was a Raider on the left side. Bruce Wilkerson, the left tackle.
Ball start. 68 offense. Still first down.
Boy, was that a false start. He was 5 yards across the line of scrimmage.
Any review there. Let's check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. New Orleans still a shutout leader over Minnesota, and Detroit has now gone out in front 23-10 over the Colts. Another run. Raiders take it right at the Falcon defense on 1st down, 1st and 15. Rick Bryan makes the stop. Steve Smith again, the ball carrier.
You just can't give enough credit to both of these defensive line. Falcons defensive line. Raiders 2.8 yards per carry. Steve Smith bangs it in there. 77. Rick Bryan 58. Tuggle. They get a lot of people on the ball every time.
Raiders send all that speed out to different flanks now. Tim Brown in the game, coming in motion. Second down and 14. Here's a blitz. Screen pass, and the defense is right there. Torrey Epps, number 74. On an outstanding defensive play, the whole Falcon defense in position.
That was a screen pass, and the nose tackle reads it right in front of the 13. He runs a game, and when the tackle releases in front of him, well, he's right there to make the tackle. Outstanding performance by this Falcons defense.
The game is tied 14-all. 6 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the third quarter. Now the Raiders need long yardage on third down. Third down and 14. Blitz could be coming again. Lone setback is in. Here comes Connor from the outside backer position. Schrader in trouble. Has to eat the ball. A sack at the 9.
First sack of the day for the Falcons. Tim Green, headbutter, and Rick Bryan.
The obligatory headbutt.
Yeah, nobody to throw it here. Throw it to here. Schrader's looking all over the place. Can't find anybody. Tim Green makes the first contact. Rick Bryan there. Connor there. Big sack for the Falcons.
Now the punt by Gossett. He hits a beauty under pressure. And Deion Sanders has to fair catch the ball back at his 42-yard line. A terrific job punting under pressure by Jeff Gossett. But when we return to Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, the Falcons have the ball in this tie game against Syracuse. Hopefully you won't end up a palooka after all these headbutts. Falcons go to the run, and again Pegram showing his stuff, gets it ahead on fighting yards out to the 45-yard line. Got 5 when there was nothing there. Bob Golick, the nose tackle.
This is the way the Falcons started their last drive. Run first and then throw later.
Bob Golick's been doing the job, a standout player now in his 12th NFL season, a very valuable Plan B acquisition for the Raiders coming from the Cleveland Browns. He's been to the Pro Bowl 3 times. Second down and 6. They try Pegram again. This time he escapes people.
Wow.
And fights ahead for 3 yards when he was stopped seemingly for a loss.
There's no way in the world this kid should gain 3 yards on this carry. At the point of attack, there is nothing. Watch this spin. He avoids that one. There's Winston Moss, got him dead to rights. He gets by him. Howie Long tries to wrap him up. This guy looks like a circus right here, a carnival right here, a whirling dervish with the football. Brings up 3rd and short though. That's a big pickup for the Falcons.
Doing it with quickness, not with size. 5'9", 188 pounds, Eric Pegram.
Now the momentum is now on the side of the Falcons. This is a huge 3rd down conversion for them, Don.
They need just 2 on 3rd down. And they go to Pegram. And he gets it. Another marker fired in. This one comes from the umpire. Man who stands behind the linebackers looking right at the quarterback.
That's a bad sign.
Usually it's on the offense, holding. And that's the signal that Johnny Greer gives. So a first down run by Pegram is negated.
Well, that was a big 3rd down. Now the momentum of the offense and the Falcons kind of negated somewhat.
Holding 78 offense. Still 3rd down.
Mike Ken, offensive left tackle. This is just for the 3rd quarter. I thought there'd be a lot of flags on the field, and in the 3rd quarter there'd been more than a share. Now again, still 3rd down and 10. A huge 3rd down conversion here for the Falcons to this point in the ball game. Pretty good percentage, 4 of 8 so far.
Winston Moss coming from the outside, number 99, collars and throws down for a sack. Quarterback Chris Miller.
Or give that one to Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator of the Raiders. From the left-hand side of the screen, watch 38 come out there, try to make the block. It's Keith Jones on Winston Moss, and you just got a big guy on a little guy, and Keith Jones can't make the block. He ends up getting a sack. Great call by Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator.
There he is. Big Winston Moss at 6'5", 250 pounds, coming from the outside to get the sack. And now the Falcons must punt it if they can. A one-hop snap. Fielded by Tim Brown. And Brown takes it out to the 34-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will go on offense. First down and 10 with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Game tied. Tuggle was the tackler. On third down by Winston Moss. Now the subsequent punt, and the ball is positioned at the 34-yard line where the Raiders go. First down and 10 in a 14-14 game. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. 3:20 to play, third quarter.
That late substitution by Tim Brown just messed up the defense of the Atlanta Falcons. Look at them switching.
They go to the run. Roger Craig powers the ball. Craig, like so many of the great ones, plays every down like the game is riding on it. Spends everything he's got every carry.
Montoya's out with a pulled groin muscle, and look, the Raiders are going right back to the line of scrimmage to keep this defensive set on the field. The Falcons have, the Raiders have 3 wide receivers, and the Falcons don't have enough defensive backs to take advantage of it. I'm betting they try something deep here. They got all the speed on this side of the field. Galt inside, Tim Brown outside, and they run it.
What if they do on a second down and 4 play, and they got ahead for maybe 2.5, 3 yards. Darian Connor, who's made a lot of tackles, made the stop as Marcus Allen provides some insight for Coach Shell.
Got a player down here for the Falcons too. Boy, Don, Raiders had the right.
Very good player. He'll be back. Third down and 3 now for Schrader. They go to the draw play, and Roger Craig is taken down for no gain. Wow. Big defensive play by the Falcons. Mike Gann, number 76, made the stop. He wasn't ready to take a butt. He's butted out.
In this game, the Raiders have a grand total of 2 rushing first downs on 18 carries, just 52 yards, under a 3-yard per carry average. Not the kind of offense that Art Shell and the Raiders want to see.
Jeff Gassett to punt. Gann, who just made the tackle, has exceptional hearing. Many times in his career in college and in pros, he'll stand at the line and will hear what the play call is in the opposing huddle.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. He's won games for Notre Dame doing it. Here's the kick downfield, taken at the 20-yard line. Deion Sanders breaks it. Fine time down the line out to the 39-yard line. Next week, the NFL goes to win the pressure on Schrader. The game is tied 14-all. Good play fake, swing pass, and is taken down by the tight end, Gary Wilkins.
Well, that play has worked. That's his second reception on the same play. The bootleg by Chris Miller. They throw the touchdown to Broussard in the end zone on the bootleg, and here's the bootleg again. He's out there by himself. He's open. Broussard, which should come in the picture here just to the left, he was also open. Winston Moss dragged by Wilkins. His first down pickup, that has worked. That's something they can put in the bank and go to several times now.
They don't go to the tight end often. Wilkins had 1 catch coming into today's game. Third quarter winding down and out as we're down to 25 seconds to play in it. Pegram looks for a place to go and finds a little room. Head for 3 yards on a first down carry. He's out to the pretty close to the 46-yard line of the Raiders. Bob Golick and Ricky Ellison were the tacklers for Los Angeles. And that will do it for 3 quarters of play. In Atlanta, Don Criqui with Bob Trump. You get the feeling, Trump, this thing
battle, and we're getting a battle. Both defensive lines doing an outstanding job at the line of scrimmage, and that's really been the kind of the tone of the game. Both offenses struggled and struggled big time throughout this game.
Penalty count coming back a little bit now. There was a deciding factor in the early going. The big penalty on Jerry Glanville, one he'll could live to regret the personal foul that kept a Raiders scoring drive alive. Now both teams have settled in just to knock them out football. Taking no prisoners. Here come the Raiders as Miller lets it go long. Open man. It's caught for a touchdown by Michael Haynes. Ice on it, a high arcing throw, and a very fast Michael Haynes from northern Arizona, man with world-class speed, displayed it there.
You see the separation he gets from Washington, and Washington is hoping overthrow it. Please overthrow it. Look at that. Great job by Haynes. Puts his head down and accelerates, stretches out to catch it. That is picture perfect. Put that one in the time capsule. That's the way they design them to work.
A slow motion look, a perfect throw. Our producer today for NBC Sports is Victor Frank. Our director Richard Klein, executive producer Terry O'Neill, as we see perfection with the long ball for the Falcons as they take the lead on the Raiders 21-14.
Yes, sir. Chris Miller likes it. You know, Don, in the middle of this reception, we'll come back and show you something. Just a beautiful job of acceleration by Haynes. He realized that ball was way out there. He put his head down, took a couple of big strides to catch up to it, and makes the catch.
Now the chant rises up here at Fulton County Stadium. Beat LA. Kick delivered downfield on the kickoff. Here comes Sam Grady. He's another burner with world-class speed. Olympic gold medal in the relay. But the Falcons, with their lanes well covered, stay in them, make the knockdown on special teams. Watch this.
And again,
you can keep your head when all about you. Now losing theirs and blaming it on you, you've clearly lost sight of the situation. And it's been that kind of a day here in Atlanta. Let's see if Schrader, he's looking to counter as he looks deep. There's a throw, and on the infield, Fernandez lost his footing and the ball sailed overhead.
Robert Lyles tipped that ball, Don. Lyles, the outside linebacker on the left. Schrader looking down the middle. Watch the tip. Just gets it away from Fernandez. I think he makes that catch. Oh, we'll see this perfectly. McKyer 22. Fernandez does slip. Watch Lyles. Just knocks the ball away for an incompletion.
The Braves have a very good fielding infield, although they didn't last night. They lost to the Dodgers. I don't know how they have it on this infield. It's the worst I've ever seen. It's made of gravity.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're taking a shot at the Braves infield?
Not the way it plays, but what the field they have to play on. They've done a lot to try to refurbish this field. It annually has been the toughest field to play on because it gets so much action. The Falcons, the Braves, tractor pulls, rock concerts, everything goes on here.
Yeah, they do that. Of course, this is the last season as you watch Fernandez mishandle this one. This is the last season that Atlanta will play here at Fulton County Stadium. They're building the Georgia Dome. Going to play inside starting next year. Schrader, not good numbers. 9 of 23, not good numbers.
But a long way to go. 14:31 to play. The Falcons holding a 7-point lead. The blitz is picked up. Long ball. And the coverage was right there. Willie Gault, a world-class sprinter. They keep talking about world-class speed, but it's out there in the number of people.
He tried to draw an interference flag. Watch the end of this play. Raiders do a good job of picking up the blitz, but watch what Gault does. He's trying to draw the flag. Bobby Butler did have a hand on him, but he's looking back at the ball. Kind of scatter like a covey of quail there. Overthrown, incomplete.
Now back to live action. Here's the punt. Hit down by Jeff Gossage. Another good one that Deion Sanders fair catches at the 34-yard line. But the Falcons send their offense back out, holding a 7-point lead. Building has been sold out since July, anticipating the Raiders coming to town. And the Falcons, after leading 7-0, later found themselves down 14-7. Now they've come back with 2 touchdowns and have taken the lead again over Los Angeles, 21-14. A super throw by Chris Miller to Michael Haynes from 46 yards out for the go-ahead touchdown. And now the Falcons go again on offense as Pegram somehow is hit and gets away again and weaves his way ahead to the 38.
Does this guy dress up with Crisco on him somewhere? Nobody can get a real lick on this kid.
Untackleable.
Watch the way he dances his feet. Raiders fans might remember a player that played for the Raiders back in the 70s. His name was Jess Phillips. Well, Jess could do that. He'd be out there for 8 seconds running the ball and gain 1.5 yards. Nobody could get him down.
Can't make a living in those 1.5 yard runners, though.
No.
Pegram was a 6th round draft choice from North Texas State. He's nicknamed the Doctor. And the Doctor is operating still on a 2nd down carry. He's out to the 45-yard line, tackled by Anthony Smith.
One of the big aspects of the run and shoot or the red gun is that draw. And here's the draw executed perfectly. Anthony Smith's responsibility as the tackle is to make that stop. He does, but not before there's a 1st down pickup. That sprint draw in the run and shoot or the red gun, a very valuable play. Right now is when Atlanta wants time off the clock. Keep possession. 1st down yardage key when you want to keep the possession.
1st down coming up for the Falcons at their 45-yard line. Miller right back to Eric Pegram. A little over 1 yard with El Spame, and not even that as they mark the ball right at the 45. Thomas Benson and Greg Townsend with the tacklers for Los Angeles.
You can see the way they've spread the yardage around amongst the running backs. Last week Broussard, week 2 Pegram, week 1 Jones. They're not settled on a running back. Of course, they got Mike Rozier, who was a holdout in training camp, and he ran some of the run and shoot down in Houston a couple of years ago. So I think they hope eventually there's Rozier right there, number 30. He will eventually be this S back in the red gun.
Falcons looking to control the ball with the power game now. Miller fires in hard and good defense. Coming over the top was Terry McDaniel, the left side cornerback. Raiders head back to the Coliseum where over 90,000 are expected next Sunday when the 49ers come in.
That ball was intended for Rison, and it looked like Miller was very late in throwing that ball.
Tonight it's the real life deep sea adventures of Mark and Brian when they come face to face with the jaws of death in a death defying dive into a shark tank. And here's an eerie update. Kids who can hear the thoughts of dogs proven innocent. Here's a throw and a catch. The ball is lost. Rison had it. Is it a live ball? Ronnie Lott picks it up and he's going to keep running with it till we decide.
They're treating it as a live ball, Don. What they're calling on the field is it was a catch, a fumble, and a return.
I'm going to get out of the way because I know you take great delight now as we go to the replay.
Terry McDaniel was the guy who made the hit. Now what the NFL is doing this year is they're making the call on the field, and then the replay official has something to bounce what he sees off of.
Well, Rison certainly chased after the ball. He thought he had it, I think.
I don't think they'll count that as a catch. I mean, that's very, very close, and the Raiders are running the play as quickly as they can. Oh, umpire comes in. Nope, we're going to review this. We can go back and take another look.
They haven't missed one today.
Well, the way Jerry Glanville is beating up on those sideline officials.
Keeps whispering those sweet nothings.
Okay, again,
Play is being reviewed by replay. It was ruled a catch and fumble on the field.
So he's got to have both feet down. One. Ball loose. Now what the replay gentleman has to determine is, was the first foot down Replay today is Dave Hawk.
I mean, these things are so fine line. It's unbelievable. When you look at it in slow motion,
I
you
agree.
can't make a determination.
I agree. I agree with you totally. Again, when the ball reaches his hand, he has a little stutter step. Is his left foot on the ground when he catches it? Okay, it's not. Was his right foot on it? Boy, that's tough. You need incontrovertible evidence to overturn a play. I don't know.
11:34 to play in the game. Falcons are in the lead, 21-14, and we're driving.
After further review, the play stands.
Ooh.
Not enough evidence to overturn the call.
Needed that incontrovertible evidence.
Yeah, and Glanville is not complaining that much. He was staring right at the play.
Coach Shell looking on impassively, but you know he's churning inside. Everybody involved in this is, as the Raiders go to the run on first down, and there's nothing there. Tim Green, defensive end number 99, a Rhodes Scholar candidate twice in his years at Syracuse.
Do you remember what Art Shell told us last night about Tim Green and this defensive line? He said these guys cannot stand here all day and be hammered by our big offensive line. Well, to this point, they've held the Raiders to 50 yards rushing on 19 carries. They have withstood the heavy pounding of this Raider offensive line.
But he said a 300-pounder pounded on 260 by the fourth quarter. Something's got to give. It's got to be the smaller guy, but as yet not so far. Green is still making plays. Now the Raiders go to the run, and running with the ball is Marcus Wilson, a name that you've probably not heard because he's not played for the Raiders before that down, at least from scrimmage.
Activated from the practice squad. And they did not expect him to see any activity. A converted defensive back, and he's probably wondering, what am I doing out here?
Well, he wasn't doing it long. He's coming back out now.
Tim Brown replaces him.
Falcons have done a good job defending the long ball.
Boy, is this a big third down. Raiders today just 4 of 12 on third down. Oh, my goodness.
Schrader needs a big throw now. Third down. The Raiders need 5 for a first down. As the Falcons key the front again. There comes the rush. Schrader takes a look, running out of time. There's the throw. Too much on it. Had an open man in Willie Galt. He threw a high fastball that Galt could not control. And now the Raiders have to punt the ball with 9:57 to play.
Deion Sanders right there. Play happens to the right. Everybody drops. It's zone for the Falcons. And he's waiting for Galt. Now watch who comes into the picture here. Deion Sanders. He didn't give him much room to throw that ball to Willie Galt. Jerry Glanville thinks that Deion Sanders is a better cornerback than Lem Barney, formerly of the Detroit Lions back in the 70s. And he said, I thought Lem Barney was the best I ever saw.
They said he was the standard I always judged him by. I saw Deion Sanders, who's ready to run it back from his 9. Special teams play has been outstanding, and yet another marker down. This is it down at the line of scrimmage. A man downfield. Legal man downfield is the signal against the Raiders. They'll punt it again.
Yeah, make them punt it again. Give Deion Sanders another chance. Make that punt coverage team run down under another one.
Does not get any easier for the Falcons next week. They'll go against unbeaten New Orleans here at
67
Atlanta.
illegally downfield on a kicking team. Still fourth down.
Dan Turk was down early.
He's the snapper.
He's made some big plays though on special teams. As coming back out to punt the ball again is the veteran Jeff Gossett.
Well, if you're a special teams coach, the Raiders special teams coach does not like this, because your punt coverage team has got to do it again. And if you're the Falcons special teams coach, all right, this is the one. Make them run another 40 yards. We might break one here.
And that brings the bad news in training camp to people who are cut is called the Turk. Dan Turk called for that foul, and now the punt again. It'll be hit downfield. Gossett drives it on a spiral back to Deion Sanders all the way back to the 12-yard line, but there's room for a return. And Sanders is out to the 22-yard line, where the Falcons go on offense first down and 10 with 9:37 to play. A.J. Jimerson was down to make the tackle for the Raiders. Back in Atlanta, Georgia, city on the upswing. The Braves could be a playoff team. The Falcons hope to be. In '96, the Summer Olympic Games come to the city of Atlanta. Right now, the Falcons are holding a 7-point lead over the Raiders in the fourth quarter. Play action rollout by Chris Miller. Coverage was there, so he had to throw the ball in high. Miller's really sharpened up his passing game as it's worn on. The big strike, the 46-yard touchdown throw to Michael Haynes.
First time that rollout, that bootleg, has not worked for the Falcons today.
As we check the Fram 10-minute ticker. Miami's now gone ahead of Green Bay. Houston getting closer at New England. Cincinnati rallies to tie up the unbeaten Redskins. New Orleans in command. They come in here next Sunday to play the Falcons. And Detroit appears to be sending the Colts down to their 4th straight loss. Detroit had a bad club, got buried opening day by the Redskins, and has won 3 straight now. It will if this whole score holds up. Here is a throw by Miller, almost picked.
He did.
It is. Ronnie Lott tipped it. Lionel Washington gets it, and he'll take it back to the 30-yard line. So a big turnover now. The Raiders get the ball at the Atlanta 30-yard line with 9 minutes and 23 seconds left to play.
Don, it appears one of the things that's a characteristic of the run and shoot is that the quarterback cannot have a favorite receiver, and it looks like he's tying into Andre Rison. Now you see Lott drop off in coverage 42, tips the ball. See, Rison is covered. There's no question about that. That brought up some dust. that brought up some dust there.
In this case, some gravel.
Goodness, that was awful close. Did that ball bounce? It's going to be reviewed. See if we can tell here any better. Ball is tipped. No, first thing. Oh, that ball bounced. That ball bounced. Finally, I think the replay is going to rule in Atlanta's favor. Watch again that this ball bounces on the infield here.
I'm not convinced it bounced. Wow. Looks like a catch.
I think that ball hit between his hands. I really do.
Inconclusive. Play stands.
No, incontrovertible. You need incontrovertible. Get the word right now.
Johnny Greer's our man to bring the official verdict.
Here it is.
After further review, the play stands. Interception, Raiders.
We had no incontrovertible evidence.
Well put.
In fact, we didn't have any inconclusive evidence.
Or conclusive. Replay's had a big part in this game, hasn't it?
Now it's 1st down and 10 for the Raiders, who trail by 7. 21-14, a lot of time to go in the fourth quarter. Handoff, and Marcus Wilson runs the ball. So Marcus Wilson with the Raider running back core depleted. Art Shell was saying, everybody talked about what are you going to do with all those running backs at the start of the season. He said those things have a way of sorting themselves out. With injuries, we don't have enough right now.
Really? I don't know what's wrong with Roger Craig. There's Marcus Allen. He's got a bad knee. Of course, Greg Bell is out. We know about Bo Jackson. So Marcus Wilson is a big man at a crucial part of this game, Don.
Second down and 6 as we have a man leaving early. We'll see if Tim Green was drawn offside by motion in the offensive line.
Ball start.
Was the case.
68 offense.
Wilkerson left early.
Top of the screen, a helmet. Yeah, he moved when Tim Green moved.
Veteran Raider team. The Raiders have 17 players in their roster over 30 years of age. Marcus Wilson, a 6'1", 200-pound runner from Virginia. first-round draft choice in '90 as Schrader throws, and the ball is taken down by Fernandez, but they rule he was out of bounds.
Well, that was a great catch, though.
Was it?
Goodness, that was the great catch. Screen left. I'll direct your attention. Throws it over the linebacker and defensive back. 1 foot down. No, it's on the line. Nice try by Fernandez, but he couldn't get the 2 feet down.
Falcon defense continues to improve under Glanville. The Falcons, counting this game, have now held 5 of their last 6 opponents dating back to last season to 14 points or less. The Raiders right now stuck on 14. They can get 7, they'll tie the game. A stacked formation high to the top of your screen, and overload on that side as the Falcons deploy 3 defensive backs. Schrader throws, and he throws it right to an open area of the field. Scott Case was the nearest to it, but there were no white-shirted Raiders around.
Oh, what a defensive game this has been. Both sides come up with big plays. Well, Jaeger now comes in for what I would term a long field goal.
Second half has been tough for the Falcons. They led all 3 previous games at the half and lost 2 of them. Today we were tied at the half, 7-all. There is Jeff Jaeger, a consistent kicker and a good long-range kicker, having another solid year at the University of Washington.
His longest kick this year, 41 yards.
He drives it up right through the middle. A thing of beauty for the Raiders off the foot of Jeff Jaeger, but the Falcons still lead the game, albeit by 4 points now with a long way to go, 8 minutes to play. The main men in the Raiders offense. Roger Craig has an irritated shoulder, and it's doubtful he'll play again. We'll see.
The injury to Roger Craig certainly hurts their chances, but what's even worse is a young man named Marcus Wilson, who has no knowledge of this offense, is out there playing running back.
Jaeger, after hitting the long field goal to bring the Raiders back to within 4, kicks off to Deion Sanders. And a big open field tackle as coming down to make the play was Elvis Patterson.
Well, in the Falcons sideline.
Falcons want to run some clock if they can. And they go to Pegram, who's been so consistent getting positive yards when seemingly nothing's been there. This time he puts his head down and lunges for only a yard. So the Raider defense wins first down. It's 2nd and 9.
And this is what you don't like to see. A 2nd and 9 situation turns that Raider defense loose. Now again, one thing the Falcons have done with some success is the bootleg by the quarterback, hitting either the tight end or the running back.
Ronnie Lott backs off the line of scrimmage now. As Miller goes with the long count, stands in. Here comes that rush. Miller's on the loose. Chris Miller, first down, Atlanta.
Nice move.
Miller, just 26 years old earlier this month. Directing his team flawlessly at this point. As the handoff and the carry by Keith Jones, resulting in a hard stick by Thomas Benson, 54.
This is no time to lose your cool, gentlemen. 15-yard penalties at this stage of the game are very stupid.
Falcons taking time off the clock as Coach Glanville checks the ticker, and it's down to 5:50 and running. Atlanta 21, Raiders 17. Falcons with 2nd down and 9 coming up.
Again, that's 2nd down, 2nd and 9. When you get 1 yard on first down, it's not good. It puts a lot of pressure on your offense.
Raider pass rushers dig in to tee off. There's the handoff to Pegram, and Townsend, number 93, coming from right end, makes the knockdown for a loss. So now 3rd down comes up, 3rd and 10. Greg Townsend, a Pro Bowler last January.
This Raider defense is designed for Greg Townsend to make a lot of plays on the pass rush, in the running game. And there are a lot of sacrificial defensive linemen in that Raider organization. Howie Long, Scott Davis, they're there to free things up for Townsend to make the tackles, and he does.
A 4-point deficit, though. That's a big number. Raiders, if they get it back, would have to score a touchdown. 4:40 to play. Clock running. On 3rd and 10, Miller takes a look. A throw, and the ball skips off his receiver. Incomplete. There is a penalty marker down back at the quarterback. And a holding call is signaled against the Falcons.
Legal use of the hands. Hands to the face, it looked like. They'll turn down the penalty, make it 4th down. And again, the Falcon offense could not sustain a drive.
Illegal hands to the face.
Yep.
69 offense. It's declined. 4th down.
Houston Hoover.
Lionel Washington, who had that interception that led to the last score, a field goal, helped off. There's the snap now. Full head punts the ball. It's not too long. Tim Brown will run it back from his 27, 30, 35, 40, 45, and out to the 47-yard line. So with 4:24 to play and needing a touchdown to go ahead, the Raiders start this drive in good field position at their 47-yard line.
One of the things that the Falcons are doing is making Tim Brown go sideways to catch these punts, but he does get by a couple of guys. Nice tackle by the Falcons, Joe Fishback, to get Tim Brown down, but excellent field position now for the Raiders. They've not produced a lot of offense in this second half, but they are in a game-winning drive situation here. Let's see what the character of the Los Angeles Raiders has in store for us, Don. This is what Al Davis hires these guys for. Win it in this situation.
Schrader with a deep drop on 1st down and 10. Long throw. Fernandez is open, and the ball is tipped away. Ken Teppins came back and tipped the ball away. Mervin Fernandez was wide open at the 30-yard line. Wide open.
A lot of Falcon linebackers have been in the perfect spot today, haven't they? We've seen about 5 or 6 tip passes, and if they're not tipped, are receptions by Raiders receivers today. Tippins on that tip.
So the Raiders with a downfield throw on 1st down, and again they find themselves now with 2 downs to get 10. Schrader, a throw and a completion, and a penalty marker is down. Tim Brown caught the ball at the 46-yard line of Atlanta. Holding against the Raiders.
That Falcon defensive line has really given this offensive line fits. There's Al Davis sitting there not happy with this offensive line's performance to this point in the season, Don, not just today.
Holding 73 offense. Still 2nd down.
That's Fitzpatrick on the hold, and replacing Max Montoya, who's out with that pulled groin muscle. He's only 320 pounds.
They've all got a pass block now as the Raiders have the ball 2nd down and 20 all the way back to their 37-yard line. They trail in the game by 4 points. Schrader lets it go long. Tim Brown's going for the ball. Tim Brown, no foul call. The coverage is ruled right on time, but despite the protests of Brown, Tim McKyer stride for stride. Very close to a penalty. It turns out to be perfect coverage.
Brown's on the outside. You see the drop off. Excuse me, on the inside, you see the drop off by McKyer. A little bump by Jordan that's allowed. McKyer's looking for the ball. The officials are going to allow contact like that when both are looking at the ball. Obviously, those people in Los Angeles say, come on, that's obviously interference.
There's an even better one.
Incidental contact is called. They're both looking at the ball.
Brown veered out going for the ball. job exceptionally well. Now 3rd down and 20 for the Raiders.
Timeout, Falcons. Another strange choice by Jay Schrader, though. On 2nd down and 20, he goes for the distance.
Need 20. Big rush is a coming. Schrader on the run. Fires. He makes the connection and is going to go for a 1st down. Wow. As Tim Brown, All-American from Notre Dame, makes the big play. He adjusted his pattern when he saw Schrader in trouble, and a terrific play by Jay Schrader, the former UCLA Bruin, who makes his most important throw of the day, perhaps, to keep a drive alive.
Ryan Mitchell, the man who makes the tackle. He's the man in coverage, but great foot speed by Tim Brown. Look at the hand fighting. Pulls himself by that defensive back. Schrader finds himself open and gets the ball to Brown. Huge play on a 3rd and 20. They pick up about 30.
3 minutes and 56 seconds to play. Falcons 21, Raiders 17. 1st down Los Angeles, 36-yard line of Atlanta. Pitch back to Marcus Wilson. And Wilson fights his way down to the 30-yard line. The Raiders have to take it in. They're down by 4. Field goal this late probably wouldn't help.
Again, if you tuned in, you're wondering why Marcus Wilson is out there on the field. Roger Craig out with a bad shoulder.
Jerry Glanville, who was so animated, never stopped talking to the officials in the 1st half. Now somber, looking on, hoping his defense can hold. Good play call for Schrader. He hasn't had many in this position. 2nd down and 4. He just checks off, makes sure everybody's in sync. 2nd down and 4. Marcus Wilson protecting the ball, breaks through for a Raider 1st down.
Who is this guy?
Marcus Wilson was a 6th-round draft choice out of Virginia in 1990. As you said, he came off the practice squad.
I mean, Al Loftusal, Al Davis's executive assistant, walks up to us yesterday and said, "Oh, by the way, we activated Marcus Wilson. Oh, by the way."
Only when we saw number 40 running on the field and asked who it was.
Oh, by the way, this kid's been the most crucial drive of the game at running back.
Pitch back. Marcus Wilson. 1st down, the Falcon defense upends him at the 20-yard line, and the game clock comes down close now to the 2-minute warning.
Oh, by the way, we've activated Marcus Wilson.
He was actually with the Colts last season. Raiders got him as a free agent last April.
I believe this kid was drafted as a defensive back. Oh, by the way,
he's listed as a safety. Well, he's our new favorite guy in the moment because he's getting the ball every down. As Al Davis has some words for his good dear friend Sam Berkovitz. Some years ago when the Raiders played in Oakland, a newspaper there took a survey of Raider fans. What do you like best about Raider football? One guy responded, the last 2 minutes. We come now to the last 2 minutes. The game on the line. The Falcon defense looking to hold.
That's when Ken Stabler was the quarterback, though.
2nd down and 9 for Schrader in the Raider offense. Here come the Falcons. 4-man rush. Throw. And the receiver, Tim Brown, turning out. Protests. He was held by McKyer. Official right there says no. And now 3rd down and 9 comes up. And the Raiders down by 4 have to get it in. Terry Robisky signaling plays in from the sideline. Jerry Glanville, who calls all the offenses and defenses. Might be letting Jesse Tuggle call the defenses now as on-field captain. On 3rd and 9, they go to the run. And the Falcons weren't buying it. They went right for it. .43 left to play. This is Don Prickey with Bob Trumpy. We watch those of you who've been watching the Steelers and the Eagles. Philadelphia 23-14 winner. We're at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, and a huge down is coming up now as quarterback Jay Schrader of the Raiders goes to the sideline for some counsel. He's down maybe to a last throw. 4th down and 12 coming up. The ball on the Falcons 23-yard line. 1:43 to play, and Atlanta leads the game 21-17. Trump.
Interesting call on that last play. They had 3rd down and 9, and they go with what appears to be a draw up the middle. It did not fool the Atlanta Falcons at all. This is Marcus Wilson as the running back. Oliver Barnett, number 72, makes the hit. Strange call, Don. The lone setback. They go with the draw, and he gets hammered by Oliver Barnett.
The game could hinge on this play. There is the headbutt, which has become part of Falcon football. Congratulatory headbutt. 4th down and 12. Raiders have to convert. Throw to the end zone. Won't be close. Intercepted by McKyer.
Don, it appeared to me the only guy that Schrader was looking at was the guy in the end zone, 83.
Willie Gall. He had no chance at the ball, but McKyer does.
Double coverage. They had 4th and 12, and he throws it in the end zone. McKyer makes a whale of an interception, and boy, there's a certain amount of desperation in that. Watch Schrader. He doesn't look underneath. He is only looking at the corner of the end zone. I question that choice. I mean, you need a 1st down.
I'm sure he does now, but there's no turning back as the Falcons have the ball on a 4-point lead. In a game which they say is the pivotal game of the Glanville era. This is the game when the Falcons thought they could come of age by beating the team that Glanville would like his Falcons to emulate. The Raiders. 1:31 to play and a timeout on the field as there was no gain on a 1st down carry.
It was a good day for ideas.
Shell, 15 years a Raider, an all-pro tackle, and now the coach has lived through so many of these finishes. The Falcons in command at the moment, but it's not over yet. Schrader could get another chance. Atlanta 21, Los Angeles 17 with 1:31 to go. It was actually a loss of a yard on that 1st down carry, and now it is 2nd down and 11. The Raiders have 1 timeout left. Another run. Pegram fights his way to the 25-yard line. Another timeout signaled for with 1:25 to play. So with a break in the action on the Raider timeout, their final one. We'll pause for this down though as the Raiders are out of timeouts. 3rd down and a long 5. Miller with a rollout, a play fake, and a throw, a catch, and a 1st down for the Falcons as he swings the ball out to Mike Pritchard, the rookie from Colorado.
Game over.
And he's all the way out to the 48-yard line, and now the Falcons are in position to run out the clock.
That rollout has worked all day long. Excellent call by Jerry Glanville or June Jones or whoever.
And a good play by Pritchard.
Totally uncovered. Lewis is the closest man, number 21. Finally, Anthony Smith makes the tackle. And Chris Miller, stay in bounds. Stay in bounds. Well, now there are a lot more believers in the wannabes, the Atlanta Falcons. They want to be the Los Angeles Raiders.
And now the Falcons go to that knee to the turf offense. Miller takes the snap. 1 knee down, and the Raiders out of timeouts. Watch the game ebb away. So the Falcons in the game that they call the most important of the Glanville era and one of the most important in the franchise history prevail over the Raiders, the team they'd like to be like and certainly became a great deal more like, winning in the end 21-17. The Raiders now fall to 2-2 in the AFC West.
Offensive line did not dominate today for the Raiders. Defensive line played well. But running back, they are really hurt. They get Nick Bell back next week with Marcus Allen out, with Roger Craig out. Look at that road record under Art Shell.
They're up and cheering. If the Braves ever take it into the NL West, this town will be up for grabs. Final score, Falcons win it 21-17 over the Raiders. We'll be back.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Throughout the 80s and into the 90s, Raiders' defensive might has been keyed by pass rushers Howie Long and Greg Townsend, the second and fifth leading active sackers in the AFC. They have combined for 148 sacks during their careers. Townsend made his first Pro Bowl in 1990, while Long was named to the team of the 80s. Individually, each is a star. Together as teammates, they make the Raiders the best they can be.
Most of my friends don't know what they're going to do after graduation, but I've already locked in guaranteed skill training in the Army. Qualify now and you can reserve even the Army's most sought-after technical training up to 12 months in advance through the Army's delayed entry program. Sure, being a soldier won't be easy, but then nothing worth having ever is.
It took all day, but they finally came up with one very big idea. What do you bet they printed on a laser jet from Hewlett-Packard?
The temperature never drops below Xerex. That's important to remember at a time like this, when it's very dark and very cold. Ah, you did remember Xerex Antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Xerex.
It's Will's first time. Not that time. It's Will's first job.
Get a load of his costume. Think you'll be needing a booster seat, little boy.
All new Fresh Prince, NBC Monday.
Chiefs up to the line of scrimmage, second down and goal. They lose a yard on first down. Robert Blackman, the injured Seahawk player, went off the sidelines by himself. He's okay, but out of the game right now. Esby Glasgow takes his spot in the secondary. DeBerg fires. Owen Barnett, the rookie, cannot pull it in at the 5-yard line.
That time, a lot of quick pressure up the middle on Steve DeBerg. It was a two-step drop, 1-2, and get the ball out of your hand quickly. Just the timing a little bit off. Just a two-step drop. You see the turn and throw. A lot of people batting in the way. Maybe catchable, but not really the perfect pass.
Third down and goal. Todd McNair checks into the backfield. 14th play of the drive. Shotgun for DeBerg. They must get in from 9 yards away. DeBerg fires. Thomas had it and couldn't hang on. Incomplete.
Well, that's one that DeBerg put perfectly. His patience was appropriate. Put it right on the spot, and it was dropped. That's one that got away. Take a look at this. He goes straight back, knows where he's going. That's a perfect pass. It should be in somebody's highlight film, but instead it'll be in Seattle.
James Jefferson was on that corner trying to guard on that play. Thomas extended himself, but couldn't come up with it. Nick Lowry in. He's 1 for 2 in the year. Made one from 23 yards, missed one from 51. Ryan Barker, the punter, holds. Spot is at the 17. 27-yard field goal is good. Kansas City marches down the field, and they jump out early here in the second quarter. It's the Chiefs 3, Seattle nothing. We'll be right back.
The accident took my arm, and I thought my job. I just couldn't do what I used to. So Liberty Mutual gave me a Boston elbow. Its power and flexibility gave me back the ability to do my job, which gives me back the ability to pick up a paycheck.
Over the past 5 years, more people switched to Glidden than any other paint. Now, if that isn't the ultimate test of quality, we don't know what is. Glidden, a better way to paint.
And right now, quality Glidden paints are yours at terrific savings during our NFL Super Sale. So hurry down to your nearest Glidden dealer and pick up America's favorite paint at NFL Super Savings.
Glidden, a better way to paint.
Professional service, a friendly face. That's your Big A Pro.
Big A, the sign that keeps your car running right.
Kansas City goes 71 yards on 14 plays. The drive took 7:08. Nick Lowry banged through a 27-yard field goal, and the Chiefs lead 3-0 here in the second quarter at Arrowhead Stadium.
So far, everything going according to plan pretty much for both teams, except for Seattle losing the interception to Deron Cherry. Both teams running very well. Play action passing working relatively well for both teams.
Chris Warren and Derek LaVille are back deep for Seattle. Incidentally, on that interception, Deron Cherry jammed his right toe. So we thought initially it was his finger, but it was his toe. Coming down, and it's LaVille. He'll take it at the 5-yard line in Seattle. Big hit by James Saxon, shooting through. Good special teams play by Kansas City. James Saxon, a running back in the Chiefs offense, hugged by special teams coach Kurt Schottenheimer as he comes off. We'll be back to Arrowhead Stadium in just a moment. It's 3-0 Kansas City.
Bulletin from Chevy Truck. Now get $1,000 cash back on every new 1991 Chevy full-size. The best cash back offer on America's best-selling pickup. Now through September 25th, $1,000 on every new 1991 Chevy full-size pickup. Every half-ton, three-quarter ton, 1 ton. Every 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, all with $1,000 cash back. You must take retail delivery from dealer stock by September 25th. See your Chevy dealer for details and get $1,000 cash back now.
When you buy a Super Color Special TV antenna from Radio Shack, you get a great value. And Radio Shack has everything you need to make installation easy. Best of all, you get Super Color's advanced technology for the clearest picture and sound possible. Reception so lifelike, it's incredible.
Hey, great picture, huh, Howie?
And Super Color antennas are here just in time for football. 2 great antennas for city, suburban, or long range from $24.88. Only at Radio Shack, America's technology store.
Guys, doesn't get any better than this.
Bob Pullum was wrong, because when a crate of lobsters fell from the sky, it got somewhat better. And when the Swedish bikini team dropped by, it got a little better. And when an old Milwaukee truck showed up, it most certainly got better. Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It just doesn't get any better than this.
The Dolphins. The Jets. Rocking the Big Apple. Next Sunday.
The ball is at the 18-yard line. Chuck Knox looked as though he was going to jump out to an early lead in this one, Beasley. They were 3rd down and goal from the Kansas City 3 the first time they had the ball. An interception thrown by Jeff Kemp. Kansas City comes back. They look like they're going to score a touchdown. They don't. 2 struggling offenses, I think it's safe to say. At least actually